first step in the process is cutting our floral foam. The first couple pieces can go into the pot and they don't need to fit perfectly. The key objective is to have them large enough that they create a stable foundation for the top piece to fit over. You'll need to take extra care with the top piece because you're going to want that to fit snugly into the top of the pot. This part of the process takes quite a bit of patience. It's better to cut off the pieces in little chunks rather than to cut too much off. Cut around the floral foam in a circular pattern and cut at an angle, almost like you're creating the shape of a diamond. Slowly make your way around until the piece fits securely in the pot. You'll notice that I made an error in cutting the floral foam. I cut a little too much off such that there was a gap at the top. This can be fixed by taking one of the excess pieces of floral foam and just sticking it into the crevices. You'll want to make sure that the top is secure because you don't want any of the rocks falling down in between the pot and the floral foam. For additional good measure, you can take a glue gun and just secure with a little bit of glue all around the edge of the pot so that nothing can slip down the sides. For this size project, you're only going to need about 1 ounce of resin. Stir about half an ounce of the resin and another half an ounce of the hardener together. You want to stir for about 3 minutes. If you don't stir enough, the resin won't cure properly and then your project's going to be sticky indefinitely. Pour the resin on the rocks and stir until all the rocks are covered in resin. Now that the prep work is done, this is where the fun begins. We get to start selecting the florals that we're going to be using for this particular project. The first floral that I selected today is a beautiful blue echeveria. You'll notice that there's a great amount of depth and texture. I also like how the center of the floral is a bright green, which is a nice contrast to the blue perimeter. I also picked a bright yellow echeveria to add a nice level of contrast against the blue. The centerpiece is a nice bright green yucca that will make a bold statement in the center of our arrangement. Last but not least, I selected a purple anemonium with a fuzzy-like texture to complement the color palette of our arrangement today. Now that we have all of our florals selected, we can begin the fun of putting the arrangement together. First, take the yucca as an anchor piece and place it in the center, and then take the 2 blue echeverias and put them on either side. We're looking to make a piece that has a aesthetic that's 360 degrees, so when you're placing the florals, you want to make sure that they're balanced in the center of the arrangement. You'll notice that I like to dip down quite a bit. This enables me to be able to get the perspective of the height of the various florals, and I want to make sure that they're balanced and equal across so that the arrangement doesn't become lopsided. You'll notice that I'll just start filling in the various void spaces with some of the filler succulents that we selected for this arrangement. By filling in the voids, it just creates an overall piece that looks complete. Finally, I'll top off the arrangement by putting a string of pearls off to the side just to give it that little bit extra depth. Depending on the size of the arrangement, I'll do one on either side, or sometimes if it's a smaller arrangement, I'll just have it tail off to the one side. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you liked this video, please go ahead and give us a like. I posted below a link where you can find all the products that we used today in the making of this beautiful floral arrangement. Thanks again, and until next time.